Hi, I'm JT. I've been a physical therapist for 5 years, a runner for 3 years. Last year I broke the sub 3 hour mark for the marathon, 2:59:37. So 23 seconds to spare, not bad. But this year I'm training for something bigger. My first ultramarathon, it's a 50K. It's called the Mental Health Ultramarathon. It is happening 18 weeks from today on November 15th, 2025 in Newnan, Georgia. It raises money for a mental health organization. But I wanted to make some episodes about what I do for training. This is going to be week one of an 18-week training block. So I'm going to be showing y'all what my training schedule looks like. I'm going to be bringing you guys along for a run so you can see me in action, talk about my pre-run, post-run routines, how I fuel before, during, and after runs, and I'll also talk about mental health, because as important as it is to raise money for this organization, I do think it's equally as important to spread awareness about mental health. So let's get into it. All right, so this is what we're looking at for week one, 32 miles spread across 5 days of running with strength days on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, along with some cross training as well. The next video that you're gonna see is me on Tuesday. I'm gonna pick it up right in the middle of those 8 miles, right before I start the hill repeats. We'll go through that. I'm also going to be talking about what I like to do after a run on Tuesdays for my cool down. And then on Friday, we'll talk a little bit about mental health. Saturday, we're going to talk about my pre-run routine along with the recap after the full week. I'll tell you a little bit about what I learned on Saturday. Let's get it. All right, we're 3.5 miles into the 8 mile run. I'm about to start the hill repeats. I wanted you to see this face of fear before the run, because I feel like most runners, they only film after the hard efforts where they're like, oh, finally it's done. Then they can talk about it like it was hard. Like, I want you to know, I haven't done it yet. This part, honestly, this part sucks. I'm going to go ahead and get it going, okay? I'm not going to bring my phone with me on the first 5 hill repeats, but on the 6th one, I'm going to bring it with me and try to have my face on the whole time. It's going to be pretty jiggly, but I want you to see what pain looks like. All right, let me go get these first 5 done real quick. All right, 5 down. As promised, y'all are coming with me on the last one. I'll tell you what, though, before this last one, my glutes are by far the weakest part of my body. This is humbling. Right after this, I'm going to go do some pelvic thrusts or something. This is bad, but we're going to go ahead and start it. No cut. Ready? Let me start my timer. All right, 90% effort. It's starting, the pain. Fifteen seconds. Oh, nothing left. This is it. This is the face of pain. Okay, carry on. Okay. 6:55 on the last one. I lost a lot of speed at the top. But that's what we're here for. Gotta break it down to the point where as hard as you're pushing, you're not going any faster. That's how speed is built. That's how the mental is built. It's just like strength training. You don't stop when it's easy. You want to get to that fatigue level, push through it a little bit, break muscle down, let it build back stronger. So the next time you go do that same weight, the next time I go do the same hill, it's easier. You extrapolate that over 18 weeks, we got a sub 450K. All right, 7.96 miles in. Nice, easy, 0.04 left. I calmed it way down on the last 3 mile cool down. My legs they're heavy. This is gonna be a fun day of work after this. All right, just finished the run. I always like to do about a 5 to 10 minute just cool down mobility routine after. I don't have like a specific go-to of moves. I've learned enough over the years as a physical therapist of different moves. So I just do one, see if it feels good. If it feels good, I keep doing it. If not, I move on to something else. This one, though, I will say has become one of my favorites. Gets the entire thoracic spine moving. The hips are obviously pretty stretched out at this point. Good for the ankles. It's just a good full body motion. Because after a run like that, where you're intense and every muscle is stiff, like I want to get more full body stretches in after something like that. After a slower, easy run, I might do some like specific stretching, like just do the ankle or just do the hip, whatever. But after a run like that, that's when I really like to get stretches like these and more compound. But you do whatever you want. You're your own unique little snowflake. Live your own life. Do your own stretches. And this is what I like to drink after a run. I'll do some creatine, some collagen protein. Love this stuff. Got the hydration mix. I'll mix that with 16 ounces of water. And I also like to add in a little extra salt at the end because I'm a sweaty boy. And then the best part of any runner's day, the post-run fuel. I got some protein oatmeal with a crap ton of peanut butter and honey on top. I love this stuff, dude. I know it looks like shit. I know it does. Oatmeal isn't supposed to look cute. It's supposed to taste good and fill you up. Have some protein, fruit, cinnamon, whatever you want. Whatever you want. The world is your oyster. Your oatmeal is a canvas for you to paint on. You put whatever you want on it. This is every run I look forward to this. Come on. All right, the week 1 mental health segment. I'm currently on a walk right now, shaking the glutes out a little bit, trying to wake them up for my 11 miles tomorrow. So figured this would be a good chill time to talk about some mental health. The way I look at mental health, honestly, it's kind of like on a spectrum. Like I think everyone deals with it. Some people have kind of mastered it and they've learned some great coping mechanisms. They go to therapy and they have their routine down that really works for them. And then others that are on the other side of the spectrum that have a daily battle with it that they feel like they can't win and that they're all alone in it. And that's where the spirals happen. And that's where we start to see some numbers in the I hate saying the word like that. It's just a scary word, suicide. Like it's a word that we need to be aware of that. That's part of this. Is like mental health is tied to the increased suicide rates and especially men. But obviously we're talking about everyone here. But as a guy, obviously I'm gonna relate more to kind of the struggles that guys go through. But obviously women and really any gender can relate. So the reason that I want to bring that up, kind of the spectrum, is that I just want it to feel more normal to talk about. It still doesn't feel normal for me, even though I'm like on here talking about it. It still doesn't feel quite normal to have a conversation about it with anyone outside of my family. Like my family's the people that I talk to about it, and there's a select group of friends that I'll talk to about it a little bit, but even then it's like I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to, and I know that's a terrible way of thinking, because if they were dealing with that, I would want them to come tell me everything and not hold anything back, so I know they feel the same way. And that's what I learned from my journey in all of this, is the more that you talk to people about your crap, the better it gets. It's like every single time. There's never been a time where I've been going through something in a mental health crisis or whatever where I talked to someone and I felt worse after. Does that make sense? Like that's my biggest piece of advice week 1, because that's the thing that's helped me the most. And I hope that we can kind of move past the stigma of it. And I think the way to do that is just consistent conversation, just like exercise, just like running. It's not some magic pill that you get all better with your mental health. Like it's just consistent hard work of having those conversations. So I think that's what I wanted to get off my chest in the first one. But we'll be diving into my own personal story in future episodes and talk more about how mental health interplays with physical health, and the strategies that we can use as physical therapists and
as therapists to kind of help bring those two together and treat people as a person, as a whole person with mental issues, physical issues. Like, we're all human, we all have them. Just the holistic treatment is something I'm really passionate about, so we'll talk a lot about that. But first one done. All right, let's go run 11 miles tomorrow. I'm so tired. I don't want to run today. It's 5:30 a.m. I have to run 11 miles. I'm half asleep, but this is what we're doing. I signed up for this, so we're not going to complain. We're going to have fun. I have to wake up this early in order to get 11 miles in because it's mid-July right now, and it'll get up to 90 degrees by 9 a.m., I swear. And the humidity's just stupid. But either way, we're going to have a good run. I'm going to show you what I do. The pre-run, how the pre-run routine has been looking for me. This is the majority of most of my runs look like this, what I do before. Right now I got a little breakfast in the little oven. I'll show you what I eat. Nothing special, but it gets the job done. And then I'll show you how I stretch it out before a run. All right, so this is a typical pre-run little snack. English muffin, banana, peanut butter underneath, honey, cinnamon, black coffee. That's for morning runs. I don't do that on every run. Then some sort of electrolyte drink. Works pretty well for me. I know y'all were wanting a little close-up of the, yeah. That's what you wanted. I know that's what you wanted. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, little warm-up before the 11-mile run. First of all, it is humid as nutsack out here. Literally, it feels like a nutsack where it's like, you know, it gets all sweaty and moist on a hot day. It feels like that outside because it rained last night, but we're doing it anyway. Little warm up here. We're gonna go leg swings at first. This is typically how I like starting it out. This just gives me a sense of if my hip flexor or hamstring is tight, if it needs a little bit more attention. Right now, I would actually say hamstring is a little bit tighter than hip flexor. I did some hamstring isolation work. Yeah, oh yeah, hamstrings definitely. Okay, it's gonna be a hamstring day. We're gonna be doing some workout there, but should be all right. Adductor, not too bad. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm really just self-assessing myself, seeing if that's tight. Hip abductors are tight. So I just like to see, going through the full ranges of motion, if I feel more sore in certain areas, and that's where I want to address in a warm-up. So that's my kind of take on warm-ups. I think they need to be specific to you, specific to the day. Like if you did a lot of hamstring work that week and they're really sore and tight, okay, that's your warm-up. You don't necessarily have to take your time stretching everything else out. You can, but that needs to be the focus, right? So every warm-up to me it's like a game. It's like a little experiment. What's tight today? And then you go stretch that out. So for the hamstrings, I just do, I don't even know what this is called. I should know what this is called by now. But I'll just call it the hamstring glider. I'll do like 2 sets, 10 reps, something like that. And then after that, I'll do a little single leg RDL. Just get the muscle working again. You don't have to be scared of like tightening it up and squeezing it. You can actually contract it. It needs that blood flow. All right, so I'll do a couple of these. And then after this, I'm gonna keep hitting the abductors. Those were tight as well. What I like to do there is a little march. Coming up, stretch down. Do like 10 of these. All right, and then after that, I'll do a little hip abductor, single leg fire hydrant. All right, so you can see I'm just dynamic stretching and then some activation of those muscles that are tight. That's all you need to know. All right, but wait, I forgot to show you what's in my little bottle. I got a Humagel, little pastry crisp, 100 calories, 20 grams of carbs. Tastes like freaking candy. It's amazing. And then let me dig it on here. Little salt stick. Just helps me keep the sodium involved. And that's it. A little plain water. Nothing fancy. 11 miles. Let's go. Yeah, I can confirm it feels like testicles outside. Literally like that part of your body where
all the moisture just kind of sits and marinates. That's what it's like outside. And I just ran 11 miles in it. 8:12 pace, we take it. Goal pace for the race is 7:40, but we worry about that later. Got some good miles in it at pace, got some hills. Felt good. I definitely learned something though that I'm about to tell you in the recap here. And then in the recap as well, we'll go over the preview for next week. But that's a 32-mile week. Finished up strong, I think. Big lessons of the week. Number one, got to get glute strength up for real. I feel them being my limiting factors, specifically going up hills. Number two, what I just learned on this past run is pre-run nutrition is off. You saw my little cute little English muffin. That wasn't enough. By like mile 2, I was starting to get like lightheaded and felt no energy and just didn't feel like I had 9 more miles in me. And then I took my gel much sooner than I usually do. I usually take it around mile 4. Took it at mile 2, and within 5 seconds, I was like, "Oh shit!" That like that's it. So got to dial that in. I tend to under fuel before runs because I don't love running on a heavy stomach. That's part of training your gut. That's part of what I'm learning about. So got an exciting announcement about nutrition and hydration later though, which you guys will be benefiting from. Good Lord, can't talk. But that was great. I'd say big win of the week was honestly like doing the hills as much as I did. I'm definitely getting more comfortable with them even just after a week as I'm running faster up hills. So feeling good with where that's at and love my paces right now. Just got to stay healthy for the 18 weeks. And I'll be showing you guys that a lot next week as we dive deeper into the physical therapy side of ultra running, how I take care of different parts of my body, specifically the parts that have been prone to injury, my right IT band, my right post tib, and then my left MCL, left like medial knee. Those are the spots on my body that have been injured in a way that kept me out for a long time. So these are the places that I really focus on in my preventative work. I'll show you how I do that. And then I'm also going to try to show you guys what a strength day looks like for me. You saw that on the intro part where I laid out my strength days for the week. I want to show you what that looks like. And we'll talk more about mental health next week, as always. I don't know exactly what. I'm just going to speak from the heart, see what I want to say that day, and let it ride. But it's good to keep that front of mind because that's why we're doing this, right? So excited for next week. Thanks for tuning in if you did. This is going to be a fun, challenging 17 more weeks, but I'm pumped for it. Let's go.